Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Trouble, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the One Punch Man chapter slash arc Rumor, which is chapter 120. I was going to say chapter 120. It was chapter 20 of the One Punch Man manga. It's a single chapter, but it's also classified as an arc on the wiki. So I'm just going to do a lone video on it. Let's just jump right on in. So we open up and we see the two S-class heroes, the two A-class heroes, Golden Ball and Spring Mustache. Um, and apparently they've been sent to the to Z City to do an investigation on specifically on the east part of Z City, which where no one lives because too many monsters have been popping up there. So all the citizens moved from that part of the city to the center of the center of the city. And for those of you who are really in the manga, you know this is the part this is where Saitama lives, and it's rent free. All the electricity is still going, the water is still going, and Saitama lives there rent free. So we get a little history there, and we're told that it started 10 years ago, which was the Hero Association was created 3 years ago. So all in all, it started 10 years ago, and now no one lives there. Um, and so that's where it is. So right after that, we cut to the Hero Association, and at the Hero Association, they're having a meeting with all of the executives are present, and we see Sneck, I think it's Sneck, not Sneck or Stitch. Anyway, we see Stitch and all of them there, and we get a pretty good view of what's going on. And what's going on is the Hero Association has sent out heroes all over the city, all over the country, as they stated in the manga, to report and investigate on what's going on the city. So we get Q City, which is Watchdog Man, and it's all clear. I think we get H City, D City, and we see a bunch of heroes. Um, and so it's all clear, and they're discussing it, and they're going over the current state of each of the city. But right after that, we then cut back to Golden Ball and Spring Mustache, and we see them walking through the city, and they're discussing, they're discussing all of they both of them are discussing like the reasoning for so many monsters appearing in the east neighborhood of in this specific neighborhood of Z City, and the reasoning that they give, all of them are true. One of them is that their monsters are calling more monsters there. Like you have one set of monsters that are calling there, and we know that those monsters are the Hero Association. And then we have the spawning. Like there's a giant ant monster that creates different types of monsters, which is something that Gara does or Psychos does. So that's true. And then we also get another one where it's like I think it says it's a brood mother. This one's specifically linked to the monster cells that Orochi's going on, that Orochi creates, that are created from Orochi to create more monsters. So they give all of that, and then we see Genos, and Genos detects something that's coming, and which catches his attention, but then it turns away, and then it loses his attention. But it also catches the attention of the heroes that we're with, Golden Ball and Spring Mustachio. I know it's Spring Mustache. I call him Spring Mustachio. I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember exactly where that whole mustachio thing comes from, but yeah, Spring Mustachio. Um, Anyway, and then both of our heroes immediately go after it because they're like, oh, it's a monster because there's nothing supposed to be living here. So they both go after it, and eventually they do catch up to it, and they realize that it's Kambu Infinity. Pretty sure that's the name of it. It's Kambu Infinity. It's a monster, and both of our heroes immediately engaged it. And we see something here where Golden Ball takes out immediately. Like he fires one shot from his slingshot, which is pretty cool in of itself. But right after that, he just gets decimated. Right, he literally just gets decimated. But Spring Mustache, who we later find out in the manga is the apprentice of one of the sword masters on the Council of Swordsmen, whose name I can't remember. This is a common thing you're gonna notice. I'm very shitty with names, but he puts up a way better fight. And during the fight, he asks, like, what's going on? Why have you come here? And then we get told why all these monsters are gathering in Z City, not Sea City. And that's apparently because he heard that there's a bunch of strong monsters that are gathering in the city. And Spring Mustachio being, I would assume because he's stronger and he has a very capable master, he quickly realizes that this monster is way too strong, so he calls for backup. The Hero Association gets the distress signals and sends out some more heroes. To see what's going on. And so all these, right then we cut back to Infinity, Kambu Infinity, and Spring Mustachio fighting, and we see he was very smart in calling for backup because Kambu Infinity literally decimates him. Right, like his sword his rapier is broken. He dodges the tomboy, and he can't even. I think the last thing he says, "I see why no one would want to live here, despite the free electricity and water. No one wants to live here if they're this amount of strong monsters. If their monsters this strong living here, no one wants to no one want to live here." And then he passed out. Kambu Infinity is not happy about this because Spring Mustachio didn't beg or scream, or he didn't really do any of that. He just sort of fought and went down. Like, remember, his master is one of the Council of Swordsmen, same one as E-Iron and Bushido Drill, Atomic Samurai, who are Atomic Samurai apprentice. So he's kind of in that same tier of power as those three. Anyway, Kambu Infinity gets bored and decides that he's going to go towards the center of the city to wreak havoc because he wants to be famous. And if he stays in this ghost town, no one is not gonna know who he is, right? So he starts to leave, but unfortunately, as soon as he starts to leave, he runs into Saitama. Okay, I don't really need to describe how this is gonna go, but then the narrator starts to do a voiceover of the report that that Golden Ball and Spring Mustachio gave from their investigation into the ghost town, right? And they do confirm, and then we also see the heroes that were sent to intercept the distress signal that Spring Mustachio sent out. We see them arrive, and then we see the aftermath of the battle between Saitama and Kambu Infinity. And as Saitama didn't kill Kambu Infinity, he just sort of plucked all the Kambus or the Kambu leaves out of his head, which in lore is said to be as strong as steel. So Saitama can eat things that are strong as and as is resilient as steel. So there you go, Saitama, right? The flex right there. He can eat steel. I've watched a lot of videos about Saitama, but I don't think anyone has ever talked about the fact that he can eat literally any things that have the density and structural makeup of steel, that are as strong as steel. I don't think, there we go, another flex from Saitama. He really is the one above all, right? So we hear them report of everything that they found about monsters gathering and the rumored monsters of Z City, of the ghost town of Z City, which is Saitama. And we see the heroes freaking out and wondering if they could beat it. The narrator goes over the investigation, telling us what happened. And shortly after that, we then cut to Saitama and Genos. And Genos comes back, and Saitama is cooking kombu leaves, right? Genos says, and Genos goes into this long tirade about how kombu leaves don't regrow your hair. And Saitama just freaks out. He's like, I literally said nothing about hair. What are you talking about? And this is kind of a running joke where, people continuously bring up the fact that Saitama doesn't have any hair. Like, even the other day I was rereading which one was it? it was a chapter where King and Saitama was talking. King is on his bike and Saitama, they're talking. And Saitama is depressed, and King thinks that Saitama is depressed because he doesn't have hair. Eventually, we'll get to that because I'm pretty sure it's yeah, it's basically in the next arc. Yeah, that scene happens in the arc after this one. No, wait, actually no, that's a lie. It happens all the way in the tournament arc, or at the end of the tournament arc. No, at the start of the Monster Association arc. There we go. Anyway, so that's the rumored monster arc of One Punch Man. Comment how you felt about it. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Comment down below. Let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.